Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new to my channel, hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Summer. So in this video I want to share with you guys about a Nigerian lady that went to get some stuff done and she didn't come back out of it alive. Let me read it to you guys exactly how it was shared on Twitter. I want to be able to read it word for word. It was posted by a lady by the name Miss Posh Proudly Igbo. That's the name. Basically says I want to bring this to the public. A friend, I think she meant to write one friend, but she wrote friend 2 times, and it said a friend just died at the hospital in Lagos, Nigeria few days ago, where she underwent surgery. Now, I'm not against anybody that wants to enhance their body or anything as such. It's your body, life and choice, so do what you love. And then if you click into it, she shared the name of the place where she got it done. You can see the name of the place and all of that. Maybe that's their Instagram handle. And then she posted the picture of her friend, the friend that it happened to. You know, initially she said, I'm not against anybody that want to enhance their body, all of that, but she goes on to say, but I'm against doctors that claim they have experience abroad, come down to Nigeria to kill young people. After the surgery, she complained of bleeding and the doctors claimed it's normal, it will stop. Now this is the problem. How are you a highly skilled professional plastic surgeon with experience abroad, and someone you finished operating on complained about bleeding and you said it's normal, it will stop, and neglecting her, no care whatsoever? Are you sick? The most annoying part here is this girl died days ago without anybody knowing, and the hospital did not find it needful to contact any of her relatives until the few friends who knew she was going for surgery said she's supposed to have be back since days now. Now they decided to go to the hospital to check on her. Arriving, they were offered a letter that her body had been deposited at the mortuary. This is sickening. Now I think the government needs to come into this health system and check the capability of most surgeons and make their own research, if really they are well-trained surgeons, to be able to operate on humans. If not, their license should be seized, arrested and jailed. And then she wrote R.I.P. Christabel. The first fame on their page is actually her. They have blocked all the comments because her friends were commenting and seeking for justice. For days now, the hospital have not released any letters on their page about her because they don't want the public to know about it. Okay, so well, I think on one hand we have to say it's a good thing that there is social media now, because if it was in the day and age where people had to wait for the newspapers to carry the story, this will not even come out, and more girls will be going in there and the same thing may happen to more people. But at least thank God for the power of social media. Our friends are able to share it, and people that are planning to do something like this, like go get their bodies done, at least a lot of people would know to avoid going to a place like that. Now somebody will say, what do you mean people that still want to? Let me tell you, no matter the amount of news that comes out, there are people that will still want to go get it done. I'm telling you guys, it will happen. People will still go get it done. I personally have no issues, honestly, with plastic surgery. In a lot of cases, people have genuine reasons for, having the insecurities or things that made them feel like, okay, I really need to get this done, that will make them go get it done. Unfortunately, there are people that go the extreme. They are looking for things that are not attainable, things that are just, for example, they didn't say what she got done, so I don't know what she got done. But we know of people that want the extra boobies that are just unrealistic. There are people that want this backside that is just like, okay, what is this? There are people that, let me tell you, plastic surgery from the beginning, came from a need for it. There was the need for people to, like, for example, there were girls that were born completely flat-chested. Okay, fine, everybody's born flat-chested. What I mean is they go into puberty and they still are flat-chested. They already should be having their boobies, but they don't have it. Plastic surgery is there to give them that thing that makes them feel like, okay, yeah, I'm now feminine. I look like a female that I'm supposed to look like. You get what I'm trying to say? Or there are ladies that have the extra large, and plastic surgery is there for that need to go reduce it. Some people say you don't have to. Let me tell you, I made a video where I address. Some people say it's the way God made you or whatever. There are times where people don't stay, not necessarily because they are greedy or they want unnecessarily too much, but sometimes people have the need. I have seen people that have extra large boobies that is a pain in their lives, that they are basically hunched over, like bent over from the weight of it, and they get it done. And they can tell you the amazing effect it's had on their backs, and the pain they used to have is gone and all of that. So when it comes to plastic surgery, it's not one size fits all. Some people will be like, our foremothers, our mothers before us, blah, blah. The truth is this, let's be honest, a lot of our mothers before us, if they had the opportunity, I can bet you they would do a lot of these things. Bottom line, in everything in moderation. There are times where you see some surgeries, you're like, oh, that's so unnecessary. There are times where you see something like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. That you will even be the one to say, wow, that was really a wise thing. You went and got it done. You know, I made a video which I was saying that I have the diastasis recti, you know, where after you've had babies, the wall of the belly is completely opened. It can be a problem. It can cause a lot of back pain because you don't have that muscle that supports you. But the thing is, if I'm going to ever get that done, I might as well just get a tummy tuck, because if you do a diastasis recti, there's going to be loose skin hanging around already. So if I was to ever going to get it done, I would definitely get a tummy tuck as well. So, but for me, I made a video once which I was saying that I personally, the fact that if they do it, they'll have to cut off the excess skin and throw away. I think about it like, nah, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't want to imagine a part of my body cut off and thrown away. I'm petty, but that's me. Then do I understand when somebody else chooses to do it? Of course I understand. Before I forget, what I really want to address is the fact that plastic surgery is like a lot of surgeries. There are the safety aspect of it. Believe it or not, anything that involves surgery, there is a safety issue. That is why, you see, I don't know how regulated it will be in a place like Nigeria. Honestly, I don't know. I feel like people that do it in countries like Nigeria or go to some foreign countries to do it, they are taking a massive big risk. Some people survive it, hallelujah, but a country where it's not, I don't believe is regulated in Nigeria. I don't believe anybody goes to jail for not doing it right. There are parts of the world like UK or America and Australia, wherever, where if a patient dies, there will be investigation to find out, did the patient die from the surgery itself, or is it from anesthesia? Or then putting them to sleep, we call them general anesthetic. So if it's the general anesthetic, because some people can do their surgery and the surgery went perfectly well, nothing is wrong, but the anesthetist is not able to wake them back up, if that makes sense, you know, to get them back up awake after the surgery, then it can be the fault of the anesthetist, not the fault of the surgeon. And anesthetist is able to wake them back up, but the surgery was so badly done that the patient we've heard about perforated lungs and, you know, whatever internal injuries caused by the surgeon, then it's the surgeon's fault. And then in civilized part of the world, the surgeon can lose his license, can go to jail, a lot of stuff can happen. But let me tell you, whether you agree or not, the truth is this: a surgeon knowing that if I get it wrong, I could go to jail, I will lose my license, my life will be destroyed. Whether you like it or not, to a great extent, it makes them be a bit careful about not just, okay, this patient is about to lose their life, but if I'm not careful, you know, not just this patient has a chance of losing their lives, but I'm going to lose my livelihood. I'm going to lose my life too, in the way that if you end up in jail or whatever. So that creates a bit of a check and balance. But in a country, Nigeria, where somebody can just finish surgery, you not survive, they just push you to that side. They line them up like a conveyor belt. Who is next? They don't even, that's how I say it. They don't have, I feel like they don't have that extra fear that allows for that. At the same time, are they actually really qualified for the job they claim to be qualified for? Because we've heard about people claiming that they are surgeons, plastic surgeons, and then eventually they found out that they were never plastic surgeons. Maybe they used to be a surgeon's assistant, and somehow they'll be like, this thing is you, I feed one, and they do it in a country like Nigeria because they're waiting to go have a pata, they go see me could pay the family compensation, blah blah blah. The extra fear that countries in like America and the UK would have, they may not have it. So those are the areas we should focus on, because if you think you're going to say stop all plastic surgeries, it's not going to happen. People are still going to do it. Coming back to what I was saying about our mothers before us, I remember my mother came to visit me and I got her, my mother has flat chest, you know, she had a lot of children, she breastfed all of them and everything went downhill, if I can put it that way. And I bought her the padded bras. These are like the best padded bras in the world, if that makes sense. And I bought her, she went back to Nigeria and she was testifying about it. She even dashed some of her sisters and she was like, oh, they love it, da, da, da. Not too long ago, my mother told me, I need more of those bras. I was like, which bras? She was like, those ones that make the boobies stand straight. My mother is very old woman, very old woman, that make the boobies stand straight. And I said, okay, yeah. And I bought them, I sent them. And I remember my brother saying, because I sent them through my brother, and my brother was like, who are you sending these padded bras for? I said, for our mom. And he was like, our mom? What is she using them for? I'm sorry. Because he was like, she's old. What's she doing with this? I said, she wants her boobies to stand straight. My brother was just laughing. Whether you like it or not, there's something about a woman. And even there is something about a woman who still wanted to feel feminine, still wanted to feel, how else can I say? To imagine that my mother, as old as she is, you go wonder, say, who they look herself, whatever. She say when she wear her blouse, when she wears it and wear her blouse, the way it's standing, is it a very old woman. So there are these needs we human beings have. And like I was saying, our mothers before us, a lot of them, if they have the opportunity that a lot of our women have today, they will do some of these things. For example, my mother that I just spoke about, there are some guys that are down there that are small. When I say small, very small manhood, yeah? Let me tell you, if there was a surgery that can give them the size they want, I can bet you that there are a lot of our men that would do it. This is what I'm trying to explain. So the problem is not necessarily the surgery. I always say it, there is the need for moderation. There are some extremes that I'll be like, okay, what's the need? For example, a woman that's had babies, I'll be like, okay, I want to do something to make my boobies come back standing up like a woman. It's very understandable, because to see your body go from what it used to be and become something else is not everybody that is willing to accept that change in their body. So it's understandable sometimes. This is where self-confidence can drop. And another thing is this: sometimes there are people that do surgeries because of what they want to come out and show everybody. There are some people that do surgeries for themselves. There are some people that have done surgeries that if they never tell you, you will never know, because they don't show their body to anybody, they don't expose it, the world does not. They did it for themselves. They didn't do it for anybody out there. And something else I actually wanted to remember to talk about, for example, one of my children, he lost, the way they lose their teeth at the bottom, but the way they lose at the age of 7 or something. But one of them never grew back. I kept on wondering why it never grew back. Just one tooth missing for years. So I decided to take him to the dentist, and then they found out that the tooth was kind of stuck underneath. It's hard to explain. So they said it was kind of stuck underneath, and they had to go do surgery to put a chain. The chain will help pull it out. And I remember the surgery had to be done. They had to put him to sleep. Let me tell you, this is a surgery that is cosmetic. When you talk about cosmetic surgery or whatever, it's basically things that if you don't do it, you'll be fine. For example, if you were born flat-chested as a young woman, and if you remain flat-chested, it doesn't affect your health. It's something that you can live without, the surgery. And a lot of enhancements are things that you can live without. My son's tooth, if I didn't bring it out, he could live with it. He could live with his teeth the way it was. Like, he doesn't have to have the surgery to be alive, if that makes sense. But it didn't look good on him. Let me put it like that. He just didn't look good. And we got the surgery. They had to put him to sleep to do it. And just like any other surgery, we had to worry about the GA, general anesthetic. The fact that, okay, he's going to be put to sleep, is he going to wake up? This surgery they're about to do, because they had to put like a chain and put a force on it to pull. Over time, the force would pull the tooth up and everything. I had a lot of worries, but I had to wait and say, no, physically, it didn't look good on him. And secondly, we all know what a tooth should look like. Do you know what I mean? And we had to wait. There was a risk there, but we took it, and it came out the other way. So what I'm basically emphasizing is that a lot of these surgeries, it would be great if the environment is good. As in, the doctors are actually qualified surgeons. The anesthetists are actually qualified anesthetists. There are checks and balances that ensures that people are going to go there, and the chances of coming out alive are high. Because if you look at the so-called third world countries, you find that death rates are higher than other parts of the world. You get my point? So those are the things that I feel like the checks and balances. I'm personally not a fan of the extremes, like, oh, I want these extra boobies, I have extra backside, whatever. Personally, I feel like those are unnecessary. But I believe, like I said already, I believe in moderation. And if anyone thinks you can ever get people to stop doing surgery, all these surgeries, I'm telling you the truth, there is that need. People always have that feeling they're never going to stop. But what in a civilized society, the government should have stepped in by now to ensure that the right safeguards are there in place. There are a lot of checks and balances, and all of these things to ensure that the surgeons are truly qualified surgeons, and the anesthetists actually you know, and the whole situation is set up properly to reduce the death rate. And I think that's really all I want to say. But I think I should use the opportunity to address the area of, there is this new shape that is the new craze that a lot of girls are into. This extra, I don't know what this girl did, but I'm using the opportunity to address this aspect as well. You know, this extra backside and all of those things. I really hope a lot of our women realize that all these shapes they are going after, shapes change with years. In the next 10 years, that may no longer be the trending shape. Is it worth it then? I'm just saying there are some extremes that we have come to see a lot in recent times. And personally, I believe in modest dressing. That if you're modestly dressed, that at the end of the day, you know, you see that some of those other unnecessary surgeries, you don't need them. I personally, I just feel like there are some extremes that are not needed. I'm using the opportunity to address that aspect. But at the same time, like I said, there are some plastic surgeries that when you look at it, you understand why some people really needed to get them done. Anyways, it's quite unfortunate, this girl's story, the way it is. And I really pray for our family for the strength to bear this loss. And hopefully our government can do something about it as well. And there'll be right safeguard in place to prevent things like this from continuing to happen. And also, I actually want to advise people, before you do any surgery or anything, go and check the person's reviews. Google the person, I mean the clinic or whatever. Google it and see whether anybody has ever, things have happened. You can Google their name and check their reviews. And I don't know if Nigerian reviews are authentic, whether they buy. Sometimes you hear about websites buying reviews, if you know what I mean. But there are ways to know about a place. You can Google their name and see if they can find that maybe they have a lot of cases that are, you know, negative outcomes. Those are the ways to kind of, and sometimes actually, so what some people do is you go to your own doctor, that your family doctor, and ask him for a reputable place to get this thing done. You know, if you don't have enough money, don't go and say, I don't have enough money, let me go and do the cheaper one. Save whatever it needs, because it's about your life. Save whatever you need to go to the good quality, reputable place than to go to quack that I don't know these people or whether they are quack or not, but maybe quack that are maybe one backyard, whatever, that, you know what I mean, is what the amount of money that it takes. Because at the end of the day, it's about saving your life. That's how I feel about it anyways. And as always, whatever your opinions are, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And with that, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Until the next time, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.